Morning, Carl. It's Richard at Sky. Can I have permission to record this, please?
Yep, I'll just find you, Richard. Yep, that should be fine, Richard.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, we'll start off with Benny Horn. Ben.
Thanks, Carl. Hey, Ashton, I know it's probably a bit of an obvious question, but is it weird without crowds? And if so, what aspects of it are you finding quite unusual?
Oh, it's definitely weird without the crowds. Playing international cricket and growing up wanting to play international cricket, you look forward to playing in front of a crowd. It's that nervous, excited feeling that you get, a bit of banter from the crowd, particularly over here in England. And it's just the energy that it brings around a really big event. So not having that there is a bit strange, but at the same time, once you're out there in the middle, locked into the game, I think we've done a really good job of just kind of forgetting about that, not even noticing and doing our best to put out a good performance.
Ashton, just in terms of, this could be the case for the summer back in Australia, maybe not completely empty stadiums, but certainly much smaller crowds than what you'd be used to. Can it be a factor for some players? Like some players really do get a lift out of the crowd at certain points when you need a boost in the game. Do you think there's some players that may thrive off no crowds and some that may struggle?
I think potentially, yeah, absolutely. But as players, we know in the back of our minds that there are a hell of a lot of people watching us on TV and around the world. The audience is enormous, particularly now that there are no crowds. Everyone's locked into these games. So that's really exciting in itself. And we know that there are a lot of people taking interest in this games, albeit there's no one in the stand. So, even if there are small crowds, that'll be a massive win for us back home, but we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out.
Thank you.
Andrew McGlashan.
Thanks, Cole. Hi, Ashton. In this side at the moment, you have the number 7 role with the bat. Is that a really difficult role to learn as you go? Because the situations you come in at last night, the team was in a bit of trouble. The first game, you probably needed boundaries. There's never anything but pressure on you at 7, is there?
It is a difficult role. Coming in with minimal balls left, and you could be in different situations, and I've seen that vary a lot in the last 2 games. Generally, you have a batsman at the other end, and the key to get your innings started is getting them on strike and then finding your boundaries when you can. And I feel like I'm just slowly learning to figure that role out. Trying to play some better cricket shots, limit the amount of balls I hit in the air at the start of the innings, and then hopefully take it as deep as I can and try and finish off an innings a little bit better. And I feel like, yesterday was maybe a small step forward in that direction.
And just one on the bowling as well. You haven't got a specialist spin bowling coach on this short tour. Just in a more general view, how much work have you done in the past with Craig Howard, and is he someone who's helped you adapt to different formats and conditions?
Yeah, Howie's a really good coach. I've done a little bit of work with him up in Brisbane. On the technical aspect of things, he's very good and has a really good idea of how to bowl, your best stock ball. The guys, in the past and now who I do the most work with are probably Sriram. He has been amazing. Sri, we call him over here, from India. An incredible spin bowling coach, super intuitive, just sees things that you may not see, and has some amazing plans, obviously, growing up in the subcontinent. So he's someone I definitely lean on heavily, and Bo Casson as well at the WACA this year and last year, has been wonderful.
Thanks, Ashton.
George Sessions.
Thanks, Carl. Ashton, just to sort of follow up on Andrew's first question, you batted very well yesterday in the second T20. Are you kind of looking at that aspect of your game as as an area you really want to try and improve over the next 12 months, to almost maybe be Australia's finisher at the T20 World Cup?
Yeah, it's definitely a role that I've identified that if I can fit into that well, I feel like I can really help the team. Yeah, like I said before, it's a tough role and one that I really need to improve on, because it's really important that back end of innings, if you can get an extra 10, 15 runs out of that position, minimal amount of balls, that can be the difference in a game, setting in target or chasing. And forming a small partnership with whoever is in with you at the back end of an inning is really important. So we back quite deep now, as we saw Paddy Cummins coming in last night and hitting Josh for a beautiful six down the ground. That's a really good sign for us. And I'll actually mention that he asked all the bowlers to go away and work on their batting and throughout the practice games, and Paddy's efforts in the last couple of games. That's been really clear.
And just sort of, I guess, with finisher, obviously Jos Buttler, did it for England last night. Sensational form from him. How good is he? I guess when he's like that, he's easily one of the best in white ball cricket.
He's an incredible player. He can hit all around the ground. Spin bowling, he can sweep, he can reverse, he hit over covers. So he's difficult to bowl to, and he moves around the crease quite a lot. But what he does is finish a lot of games. He's often there at the end, winning games for England. So hats off to him. He's played beautifully.
Thanks, Ashton.
Martin Smith.
Yeah, hi Ashton. I just wanted if you could give us an insight to the reaction that you've got from Justin and Aaron to these first two losses. Obviously, you haven't played any cricket at all for so long, whereas England have been playing. Has there sort of been a bit of leeway there in regards to the two losses, or has JL been put a rocket up you at all and expected the normal high standards that you have? Has that been an excuse at all?
I think there's never leeway in international cricket. However, there's been a lot more positives that have come out of it than negatives. That first game to come out, bowl the way we did on a pretty good pitch, and then start so well with the bat and get 2 runs away from winning the game. Massive positives. We had a small collapse there, and that certainly hurt us. But we were so close to winning that game. Even last night, we were right in it up until the last couple of overs. So, it is a shame, and it really hurts to lose a series. But we look around the change room and we know we're a really good team, a really, really good T20 team. And if we just win a couple more of those small moments, it shows we're super competitive against the best teams in the world.
And just a quick one. I think the number 1 ranking will go on the line in the last game. If you win, you stay number 1. If England win, they'll take it. Has that been spoken about? Does that put a bit of extra focus on it, or is that just sort of something that goes on in the background? It's not a major worry of the team.
I think we certainly take a lot of pride in being the number 1 ranked team in the world. It's a great feeling, and it's nice walking out knowing that. Like I said, it's nice looking around the room knowing you're a part of that, and it's a lovely team to be a part of. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, that will spur us on, but really we just want to win whatever game's in front of us at that time, and that's what contributes to being number 1 in the world. We've been really consistent over the past 18 months, and we need to move forward that way as well.
Vishesh.
Hi Ashton. Are you concerned with the form of middle order in this series so far? In the first game, the middle order faced a collapse, and in the second game, you guys got started but were not able to capitalize. So what is your take on that?
I think we just need to form maybe a couple more partnerships through the middle orders. England have done that quite well in the 2 games, and once you get 2 batsmen set at the crease in T20 cricket, it's often hard to slow them down and to stop them, particularly if there's a left-hand, right-hand combination, and we have the chance to do that. So, that's something we've spoken about. The guys know what they're doing, and we just have to back ourselves in for the next game.
Go to Shubha. Not there, Shubhayan. Okay, we'll go to Richard Graves from Sky.
Hello, this is Shubhayan. Hi Ashton, my question to you will be, how different was it to play professional cricket again after a break of 5-6 months? Like you spoke about how rusty the guys were initially. So going into the third match, do you think the rustiness has come off and you guys will go for the number 1 spot?
I never said we were rusty, first of all, but it's a really, really good feeling to be playing international cricket again. I think as players, we were itching to get back out there because it's what we do. It's our job, and we love doing that. And I think we showed that after a long break, we've done some really good things out there, and we've been so close to winning both games. And I know that the public are really happy for us to be out there, and we'd love to win for them as well. So, you know, all the motivation is there. We've done all of the preparation. You know, you can never fully replicate a game of international cricket. That's hard to do, but I feel like our preparation was as good as it could have been. And now we just need to translate that into a couple of wins.
We'll go to Richard Graves.
Yeah, continuing on that theme, Ashton, how far off do you guys feel you are after those first 2 games? Because we talk about fine margins, and they have been tight.
Yeah, not far at all. We were obviously, you know, pretty disappointed to lose the first game. We felt we were, you know, really in control of that game most of the way. But, you know, good teams find ways to fight back, and England are a good team. So it was a really, really tight, tough contest in the end. But, you know, to match it with a team that's, you know, had a summer of cricket now and has been playing really well, coming off no cricket, we're very close, and we're confident in our groups.
And we've heard in the last half an hour or so that Jos Buttler won't be available for the third T20. He's been released from the bubble for a couple of days. But everybody has lauded him for the way he's played in the first 2 games. Shane Warne was saying yesterday that he doesn't feel he's got any weaknesses as a bowler when you're looking up at the other end and he's stood there. How do you approach somebody who seems to be able to play 360 degrees around the wicket?
It is tough, and we know he's a gun. There's no question about that. But your biggest asset in international cricket, or your biggest downfall, is your belief in yourself. And you have to believe that you can mix it with the person that's at the other end. Because if you're there at the top of your mark thinking, how the hell am I going to bowl to this bloke? You're already in a lot of trouble. So, you know, running in, bowling the ball that you believe to be the best ball at the time, from the experience that you've had previously, or from what you've seen or what you're feeling at the time, that's the best way to go about it. And I think that's what you have to do. There's a lot of footage and analysis available, and we do all of our homework. But sometimes guys just play really well, and you know, he's certainly doing that at the moment.
That's great. Appreciate your time, Ashton.
Shalaz.
Hi, Ashton. Hard luck yesterday and for the series. My question is basically considering about your skills, basically the skill aspect. You know, you have earlier, I think last year or so, like you said that you were a great admirer of Ravindra Jadeja, and you also had a chat with him. So is that any aspect of your game which probably, you know, you probably implemented after that chat with Jadeja, some aspect which you probably, some tips which you have worked on, and, you know, something which you have improved upon in your skills, both as in batting as well as bowling? Yeah.
Particularly in the bowling side, yeah, I've made it no secret that I certainly look up to Ravindra Jadeja as a cricketer. He just plays the game the way I like it to be played. You know, it's fun to watch. Yeah, and he was generous, gave me a lot of time after one of the ODIs, and gave me a couple of tips on my bowling, and just a couple of drills that he does, you know, at training and before games. I'm just, you know, getting your wrist in the right position, ways of shortening your front stride, and getting a nice long high bowling arm so you can get over the ball and get nice shape, you know, in the air, particularly because you get a lot of pitches in T20 cricket that aren't very responsive, or you know, they're not going to have a lot of turn in them. So you need to be doing batsmen before the ball bounces. So yeah, I've definitely practiced a few of them throughout the the pre-season that I've had in WA, and I feel like it's paying off quite nicely out in the middle at the moment.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, looks like we have one more here from Will McPherson. Will, if you'd like to ask your question, and then we'll wrap it up, guys.
Thanks, Cole. Ashton, just on Jos again, is it a relief to hear he's not playing after he's caused so much trouble for you guys yesterday?
First of all, I hope, while he's been released, I hope everything's okay. I haven't heard a lot about it, but yeah, I hope everything's okay with Jos, and for whatever reason he's out of the bubble. But well, yeah, he's probably their best batter in white ball cricket at the moment, isn't he? So it's certainly an advantage for us in him not playing. But England have a deep squad, and whoever comes in and fills his position, although it's difficult to replicate Jos Buttler, they're still going to be very good and present a big challenge, and we need to be up for that as well.
Fantastic. Thanks, everybody, and thanks for joining, and thanks to Ashton for his time this morning. We'll wrap it up there, and we'll talk to you guys in the day. Thank you.
Thanks, Cole.